In the next step, we will add a new controller and a new view for our diary. So let's clean this up, close all documents, Solution Explorer. So we start in the controller section, right mouse click, add controller. We will choose the empty MVC5 controller, add, and name it diary controller. In case you ask yourself, what is this account controller and manage controller? This is the code inserted by the template when we selected authentication. You can see here, this is ASP.NET identity. Okay. Going back to our business, the diary controller. Our new controller with one action method named index. And we can see here view is red, so it hasn't found a view yet with a corresponding name. So let's create one. We go to the view section. We can see here we already have a folder diary created for us. Right click, add, view. Let's name it diary. We go with the default template, empty and without a model, and select our layout page. That's in views, shared _ layout.cshtml. Okay, let's have a look at the controller. This is still being read because the view is named diary, not index. I personally don't like to name views with as index, because if you have several views named index, it can be quite confusing in Visual Studio. So instead of renaming it, I would just tell the view method the name of our view diary. So this should be okay. Okay, let's add a link to our new created page so our users can find it. Go back to layout.cshtml. I want it to appear in the navigation bar, so just duplicate the about action link. So what do we have here? First is our link text, action name, and then controller name. So I want it to say diary. It's on the new diary controller, and the action method is index. Okay, let's save and check in the browser. Reload. Okay, Cloud Diary demo, diary. Oh, that's not nice. The view index or its master was not found on a view in the support. Okay. Going back to Visual Studio. I actually just tell you what has happened. We made change to the controller section, and the controller code is not automatically rebuilt when we execute our application with start without debugging. So what we need to do is go to build solution, and let's check again. Reload. Now it's working. While it's nice to have our new diary shown up in the navigation bar, I only want it to be visible for logged in users. So let's go back to Visual Studio. And we go back to our layout page. And let's add some code here. We will wrap up the link to our diary in code that checks if we have an authenticated user. So we will use rather syntax, add if context dot user dot identity dot is authenticated, and move our link in here. Save. Let's check if it's working. Refresh. Nice. The diary link disappeared. Let's test that. Login, demo. Okay, here we are. We are logged in user and can see the diary link and enter and log off. And we can't see it anymore. That's good. Let's see what happens when we try to enter the diary page directly by manually typing in this link. Oh, we can still enter it here. Oh, this is a big gaping security hole here. The user can't see it, but if the link is bookmarked or the user just tries to enter it, he can do it. So that's not very good. Let's see if we can fix that. We go to our diary controller, and that's the method that's executed when we go to the diary page. So because we use ASP.NET identity, we can easily fix that with the Authorize attribute. Because this is a change to our controller, we have to rebuild. Control-Shift-B. Nice. And test it in our application. So let's see. Okay, we have our diary application. I tried to enter directly. I'm not authenticated. Enter. And I'm redirected to the login page. That's nice. Okay, let's check. We log in and get access to the diary page. Wonderful. Log off. Let's try again, just to be sure. Okay, that's working as expected. You've just seen how easy it is to build a security problem into your application. So let me show you a better way to secure it. So if you, for example, you don't think of decorating your method with the authorize attribute, you won't get into trouble. So let's remove it here. And we build our security in by default. To do this, we go to the app start folder, filter config, and here we can add a new filter to the whole application that makes authorization the new default. So filters dot add new authorize attribute. We save, go to the browser, click on the application name to reload. Okay, now you can see, because we made it the new default, we can't even see our home page. So let's go back to Visual Studio and fix that. Controllers, home controller. Because we have locked up the whole application by default, we now have to do the opposite. The action methods that we want to be executed by an anonymous user by someone who hasn't logged into our application, we have to add the AllowAnonymous attribute. In this case, I added for our home page for the index and for the about page. Build, and let's test. This looks better. About. Let's see if the security for our diary page is still in place. Let's type in diary here. And yes, we are getting redirected to our login page. Wonderful. Back to Visual Studio. We save our changes in source control. Click on the changes button below here. For example, add diary controller and view, configure authentication.